I had never, as a young person or even through college, had an inkling of starting a business or a desire to do so. We had a young family and really felt God calling us to start the business. So we took a leap of faith. We had no work lined up. We bought 2 machines, put them in a friend's pole barn, and away we went, and we started. When most people think of lean, they think of reducing waste. And for us, that's where we started as well. I was first exposed to lean back in the 1980s when I was working for another company, and I brought those same principles to our manufacturing company when we started there. And what it allowed us to do is to look at our processes, whether it be via paperwork or whether it be manufacturing or whatever it is, and to eliminate waste and steps and wasted movement. But there's so much more to it beyond that. From a spiritual standpoint, we look at it as an opportunity to make our employees' work more meaningful, because they can come in and be a part of something and feel as though they're contributing as we streamline and get rid of the waste. Lean inside of our business has been something that is scalable and changes over time. We had our operators doing setups, and we did not have a tool crib attendant. As we were walking the process and using lean as we got larger as a company, we noticed that there was a lot of wasted time of our employees. So we looked at it from a lean perspective, hired a tool crib attendant, and saved all kinds of time and wasted movement for our employees. I think a lot of times we think of lean strictly from a business perspective, but it ties into so much more than that. It ties into our home lives, it ties into life in general. Inside of our family, Karen and I many times would sit down and look at how do we best utilize our time. We can be so busy as business owners as we get going or launching a business or running a business that we need to be able to maximize our time at home as well. And lean has allowed us and helped us to do that. Each of our children came to work for us at different times. And we've watched them grow as they've worked there with lean principles, eliminating waste, and being a productive part of what goes on inside of those companies. As I look at stewardship from a business standpoint, I look at it from a parable of the talents type of situation. How do I maximize what it is that He's given me, both from a spiritual standpoint as well as from a physical standpoint? Stewardship for me in our business and our family is simply maximizing the gifts and the resources that God has given us for the betterment of His kingdom and to His glory. Karen and I have always looked at business as a mission field from the time that God called us in it until now. I believe God has placed lean inside of my life and my company's life as one of the tools that He wants us to use to better steward what it is that He's given us. When we look at life and trying to maximize what it is that God wants us to do inside of our families, we don't want to have waste. We don't want to have excess, unnecessary steps that don't make sense with our families no differently than we do with our businesses. So the principles can be applied across both mediums, family and business, to help us be successful inside of both areas.